What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Let's go ahead and check out our colony management real fast, shall we? Still want to build this. We need Dresian relationship, though. Dresian relationship. I mean, actually, this is like kind of classic. Maybe we will just go for this. Yeah, let's go with the gracious priests. I'm gonna do that. And then, of course, we have the glitch where we can't load it. So, you know, we'll go back to the... I want to go to the shadow quarters, what I want to do, but I guess we'll go back to the atrium. Go away, get back, thank you. I wish it would stop glitching like that. It's kind of annoying. That's okay. We're actually pretty close to the final rank of the iconoclast, which is part of the reason why I took that plus 20. I'd like to get there. There might be an achievement associated with it. I don't know. One can hope. Oh. Assuming I'm being summoned. The elderly man is in front of you and moving with the noiselessness of an experienced servant. He bows primarily and says in a raspy voice, "The Lord Inquisitor told me to let you know that it will be a pleasure to see your lordship at his palace. There are matters of the utmost urgency that he wishes to discuss, and he hopes you'll find the time to meet him in the near future." Who are you? My name is Frosher, your lordship. I have the honor of being the Lord Inquisitor's orderly. The man is unarmed and wearing no Inquisition insignia, but the military sharpness of his upright posture suggests he's a servant who doubles as a bodyguard. I will visit the Lord Inquisitor as soon as I can. I'll pass the good news to the Lord Inquisitor. The man bows respectfully again. Did I just level up? Oh my god. Alright, I'm gonna level up real quick and I'll be right back. Alright, we went ahead and leveled everybody up. We got Defensive Comrade for Gregor and Weapon Skill. We got Inevitable Innovation and Advanced Skill Lord Xenos for Yurlet. For Pascal, we got Calculated Relations and Base Skill Medicae because we're kind of just running out of stuff to grab for him. Share the Spoils and Characteristic Training Ballistic Skill for Argenta. For Cassia here, we got 2 more Navigator powers just because. And for Ulfar, we got Exploit Weakness and Characteristic Training Agility because why not? All right. Let's head to talk to our guy. Follow them. It'd be cool if you double clicked if they like followed along. See, it would be like cool if it like traveled along with you, but it doesn't. But that's okay. Don't get stuck all far. I know, the Lord Inquisitor will see me now. Fantastic.
I always keep my options open.
Let's go to the right. It's all the same. All right, let's save before we step in here. Someone T-posing? Frosher. The Lord Inquisitor is engrossed in studying star system charts and reports, which are amassed on the desk like ridges of a formidable mountain range. There are shadows beneath his eyes, which are ruthlessly dissecting the latest reports, and his skin seems to stretch taut over his bones and skull. Without turning his head to you, Calcazar says warily, "Greetings, your lordship. Your timing is impeccable." An aged servant with the bearing of a veteran approaches the two of you. In a precise movement, he replaces the untouched cup of cold recaf in front of the Lord Inquisitor with a new one slightly steaming. The warrior of Fenris folds his arms in a ceramite-plated chest regally and says in a dire voice, "Greetings, Inquisitor. You and I need to talk." Calcazar bows respectfully. "Glory to the Emperor's angels of Fenris. Your words will be heeded, my lord." "May the Emperor grant you strength and some time to rest, Lord Inquisitor." Corners of Calcazar's mouth creep upward. In a befittingly grave tone, he replies, "I would be loath to trouble our master with a prayer for such an indulgence, especially one so utterly inappropriate at this fraught time." Calcazar notices Argenta and inclines his head with a dignified air. "Sister?" The battle sister's eyes gleam as the Lord Inquisitor addresses her. "May your path be blessed. It's gratifying to see that the trials endured by the Expanse have failed to extinguish the flame of your fortitude." Lady Navigator Cassia Tisiphone Virale, The Lord Inquisitor's lips curve into a thin smile as he catches a glimpse of scarlet eyes. I hear that House Arcelio is going through a difficult time. Change is coming. I sincerely hope it is for the better. Your colors, Lord Inquisitor, are as rich as they are multifaceted. I have never encountered anything like it before. Unclouded hues flowing from one to the next. Amazing harmony. Amazing and frightening. Cassie raises her chin and nods demurely. That a man of such status and talents has taken an interest in the well-being of a Navis Nobilite house is a great honor. I escaped from Komarog, where I was held captive by Xenos. The Inquisitor raised an eyebrow impressed. You escaped from the Dark City, a feat that few have accomplished. Truly, I congratulate you on an exceptional performance, and I won't even mar your triumph by telling you that the Inquisition will, of course, be watching you very closely henceforth. I sincerely hope that your grand escape was not part of the Xenos' devious machinations. Yet I'm surprised that this Xenos is still alive. What is it? Your lordship? Sentimentality? Revenge? Cold calculation? Calcazar gives Yearlet a long, significant look. If you do not finish her off yourself, send word when you have tired of her. My acolytes will only be too eager to learn her secrets. Clenching her jaw to the point of pain, Yearlet hisses Aldari curses under her breath, but it retreats half a step. I've looked into the eyes of death and of creatures far more dangerous than you, Monkey. Do not try to frighten me. I don't know, the Inquisitor's probably pretty damn dangerous. You wish to speak to me, to the Lord Inquisitor, Ulfar? Indeed, you petitioned our aid in fighting Xenos. We spilt much alien blood, but the wind of battle carried me far, and I lost contact with my pack. Do you know where I can seek out my brothers, the baleful Howl? I'm afraid not. According to the information in my possession, they withdrew from the battle raging in the Expanse. Lord Inquisitor's deferential tone now carries a dry edge. You lie. The baleful Howl never run from battle. Ulfar's reply to this outrageous claim is surprisingly calm. Only the frosty chill of death born of his voice and carried across the room makes everyone's hair stand on end. What do you mean by withdrew? Contrary to my request to continue hunting the Xenos, they embarked on an expedition whose objective is unknown to me. There's been no word of them since. Sounds suspicious. This is not how we wolves conduct ourselves. I can tell you no more. As you well know, your pack preferred not to report their plans and intentions to me. Albeit no match for Ulfar's tongue of ice, the coldness in Calcazar's voice too could freeze an entire world. Why do you think they diverted their attention? I presumed it was to search for Brother Ulfar. It is far common knowledge how deeply space wolves value ties of brotherhood, far more deeply than the ties that bind them to other subjects of the Emperor. Is there any way you can help find them? No, but I believe I know someone who is better informed. I will name that person as soon as we finally start discussing the matter that prompted me to summon you, your lordship. One of your acolytes, Emelina, accused you of cooperating with Xenos. I remind you that the particularities of the Inquisition's work lie far beyond a rogue trader's purview, but given the circumstances, yes, Acolyte Lichtenhart's words were true. It has been several years since I established contact with the Drukhari. They informed me of upcoming raids, and I thwarted them. I kept the Expanse safe while the Xenos were absorbed in their internal squabbles, which are of little interest to me. Strictly speaking, one might regard my actions in this situation as unorthodox, at the very least. In reality, however, they undoubtedly beneficial. Acolyte Lichtenhart had demonstrated her inability to surmount the bounds of convention, and she had been in my position, the Expanse would have likely already fallen under the blows of the present crisis. Fortunately for you, she is not, and the Drukhari, drained by their power struggles and bereft of their best raiders, can do nothing more than run from my fleets. Your lordship, I hope that goes without saying that I would appreciate you not spreading dangerous and misleading rumors going forward, and keeping the content of this conversation private. Given the current state of affairs, I would have to treat such actions as subversive, so I thank you in advance for your considerate silence. What is the current situation in the Expanse? The cult of the Final Dawn and Drukhari raiders are vying with each other to see who can cause us the greatest turmoil. I've mobilized all the forces I can to repel the attacks, which is why we are still alive. Combined militia brigades are hunting for Xenos and guarding convoys. The expeditionary platoons under my command are crushing heretic rebellions. The situation is unstable, but I will not pretend that I was prepared for this crisis. However, we have not lost our footing yet. What has prompted the Drukhari to act so brazenly? Prisoner interrogations indicate that a relatively major political upheaval had taken place in Komarog. The cabal of the Reaving Tempest had lost its grip on authority and become a target for enemies and rivals. Many vassals and members of the cabal decided that fleeing to real space was preferable to waiting in Komarog to be killed. Why has the cult of the Final Dawn become more active? The warp is raging. This baleful sign always pretends change, and crises beget desperation, the most fertile ground for heresy. I believe the arch-enemy's servants think their time has come, or perhaps this day was marked in their profane scripture as the date at the end of the existence. I will not trouble myself with farther attempts to make sense of their blasphemous doctrine. They are bent on destroying us all, and so they must be destroyed. What makes you think you're capable of commanding the whole sector? You see a better candidate for the job. The Lord Inquisitor closes his eyes wearily for a moment. I may no longer be the first flush of youth, but believe me when I say there are many things that I would rather be doing than playing constable to the Koronus Expanse. But alas, every ruler in our sector chooses to confine their concern to the well-being of their own holdings, whereas I, alone, must take care of all. You have mobilized all forces, but not the House von Valancius. Are you not standing before me now? While your status remained unclear, I prefer not to requisition the resources of von Valancius' protectorate. Your people dealt with the Urlon, the Cruel's agents, and with Xenos raids, and that was enough for me. But now it's time to add your might and talents to the scales. but you must have an ingenious plan to save the Expanse. The lance taught at you is shot like from an auto pistol point blank range. If such a plan were to exist, information about it would be the utmost secrecy. I suggest you focus on the current strategy of putting out each fire as you encounter it. I understand. I see no need to get bogged down in the details. To apprise you of all information I currently possess would require more time than we have. What was the dispute between you and Caligos Winterscale about? His lordship deemed it more important to show off his stubbornness than to safeguard the entrance of the Expanse. Stupidity of the most burdensome kind, but my sources inform me that he nevertheless has joined my efforts against the Xenos, and so I've decided to stay my sanctions for a time. Why do you think he acted that way? His lordship has long displayed a susceptibility to corrupting ideas. His loss of interest in managing his protectorate and his appetite for violence drew my notice some time ago. After a moment's hesitation, Calcazar adds, the only question that remains unanswered is how many agents of the archenemy have infiltrated his entourage. Did you even try to discuss it with him, or did you immediately set Incendia on him? The Inquisitor's jaw hardened. Despite the impression I may have created, I am not a schoolmaster obliged to rein in misbehaving rogue traitors. Caligos rejected the call to fulfill his duty to the Emperor. What discussion was there to be had? Caligos was under the influence of the ruinous powers, but I put an end to it. How curious. When all this is over, I will certainly call you as a witness at Caligos' trial. Together we will decide how to best handle him while ensuring the safety of the Expanse. Are you aware of the changes Incendia had wrought on Footfall? Naturally. Her ladyship has done me an invaluable service by taking on the task of instilling order on the station. Though her style of leadership seems unnecessarily brutal to me, on the whole, her actions have not exceeded the bounds I set. If you think she's unnecessarily brutal, why have you not intervened? Firstly, I entrusted this task to her ladyship, and she is executing it competently. Secondly, Gregor, are you unaware of what I'm striving to do here? At present, I'm trying to prevent the deaths of billions, and yet you ask me why not choosing to save hundreds. I came inch short of the error of her beliefs, and she has left the station. I'm surprised you managed such a feat. However, it is probably for the best. I assumed the two of you would clash, but I expected a more tragic outcome. I admire your zeal for peacekeeping. What help do you want from me? Frosher, if you please. The Inquisitor nods imperiously at the servant, who draws some kind of remote from his pocket. All sounds whose sources are more than 3 meters away fade to nothing. Neat. Cool device. Am I more than 3 meters away? You can't hear me anymore. Oh no! To my chagrin, the ability to be in 2 places at once does not number among my talents. That is why I wish for you to serve in my stead. I place such trust in very few people, you understand. You will feel what it is to walk in my shoes and to attempt to compel a gaggle of quarrelsome blockheads to work together. You will conquer Euphrates too for me. The Inquisitor gestures to the servant and the silencing field disperses. Frosher, another recaf. This one has gone cold. Maybe if you took a sip of it. He's already replaced it once. Since I've been in here. Pulling in here for a couple minutes, bro. Pascal jerks his head up, clearly recognizing the name Calcazar just uttered. What is he your valet or another Inquisition assassin? Why can't both be true? Frosher has been a member of my retinue for 50 Terran years, and the person in my entourage who comes closest to being my confidant. Something akin to a warm smile touches the Inquisitor's lips. We have had cause to be more involved in many incidents whose reports have since been marked with a seal of silence. Frosher nods deferentially, and his age-jowled face appears an expression caught between eternal loyalty, motherly affection, and religious devotion. To what do I owe such an honor? To whom else could I entrust this mission? No need to feign ignorance, Von Valancius. We both know the shortcomings of the other candidates for this position. At present, in the Expanse, there are only 2 people with the perspective and steady hand required to control this situation, and they are both standing in this room. So if you will, dispense with the humble rogue trader act and win this war for me. Can you tell me more about Euphrates too? A sacred world of the Adeptus Mechanicus, off limits to lay people. I am one of the few people who do not worship the Omnissiah to have set foot on its surface, or rather, I was. Now it is crawling with unbelievers. The despicable word bearers attacked the captured Euphrates II. The cult of the Final Dawn brought an entire horde of heretics to the planet. Registering a Sanctity Alpha priority mission, the scourge of corrupted misbelievers residing over blessed workshops fills the Omnissiah's faithful with anguish. Activating Auto-Eschism Protocol, I offer a prayer for the liberation of the sacred world. From beneath Pascal's crimson robes comes the sound of mechanisms whirring to life, and the dark bloodstains streak across his fabric. I sent troops to aid the Explorator fleet's laying siege to the world, but a rift occurred among my commanders. They needed an authoritative general, and you're the perfect for the role. My confidence is not misplaced, I trust. What matter first brought you to Euphrates II out of interest? An utterly transparent attempt to learn secret intelligence. I offered to make you my general, and you try to pump me for information. Poorly done. The word bearers went there themselves, they didn't just send puppets? Clearly the stakes for them are high enough. Your Urlon the Cruel has stirred his profane self to make it a personal appearance in Euphrates too. Kunrad Voitvir, incidentally, is also there. I hear you two have unfinished business. Him I will generously leave to you. When you are finished with him, you may simply dispose of his mortal remains. No need to surrender them to the Inquisition for an inquest. Consider it my gift. What do they want with Euphrates too? The reasons behind their machinations would be pure speculation at this point. Bring me prisoners to interrogate, and perhaps we will gain some much-needed insight. What forces do we have in place, and what is the rift that occurred between the commanders? Explorator Fleet Divine Cognizance 7821 recalled its most combat-ready units to retake the world. They were supported by most powerful strike fleet and a group of deadlier allies. I dispatched a pack of space wolves to hunt down the transgressors. Unfortunately, the leaders have failed to find a common language. The esteemed Thorvald is at odds with the conclave of the Mechanicus' battle congregation, and the omnicized servants find Thorvald's strident nature off-putting, and neither group is fond of the militant Sibylic, who commands my forces. We're not fond, to be precise. The esteemed militant perished along with his ship a week ago when his allies failed to support his offensive. The Inquisitor bows to Ulfar curtly. I recommend that you, too, go to Euphrates too, my lord. Perhaps your pack was less reticent with the esteemed Thorband than with me, and told him where they decided to direct their efforts. It's a fine suggestion, which I accept gratefully, Inquisitor. The expression of respect on Ulfar's face is a poor job of hiding his antipathy. How did you manage to enlist the aid of the angels of the Emperor? I must remind you that I am still Lord Inquisitor of the Koronus Expanse, not merely some, what do you say, Frosher, some grox-bothering prick. If certain rogue traders at times allow themselves to speak to me in an overly willful manner, that should not give you cause to doubt my authority. The situation is clear. You will be given the details when you arrive in orbit around Euphrates too. I don't want to decline. What? No, I don't want to. I'm afraid I must decline? What? The Lord Inquisitor replies in a soft-aired voice, but it is not a request. It is a command, and I am far past the point of humoring your pride and vanity. I didn't want to decline. Such a stupid old one. That's dumb. Kel'Thuzar nods at the paper that a servant has deferentially delivered to the table. This document attests to the extraordinary powers you now have at your disposal. I am counting on your success, Gregor. Me too. How you doing, Frosher?
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
I guess we're done here. Now we have to hold a war council. Sorry, guys. Lots of coughing to do today. I'm trying to get a few episodes in today so that I don't have to tonight or tomorrow. But it is getting late. Not as late as normal though, you know, it's actually kind of early for me, but still, I would like to sleep after this one, I think. Shopkeeper? I guess not anything important. I would like to go to the shadow quarters, please. Take me back to the Furibundus. Oh god. My headphones fell off. Can we talk yet? Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Nope, that's not it. Nice. I hate when I can't look at things. Yeah, looks like they don't want me to talk still. That's okay. That's okay. I really think I'm gonna have to save and reload to get this to work. Yeah. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna save and reload this just so I can see things going on. Yeah, for some reason I still can't look at them. That's kind of dumb, but it's okay. Emperor's Palm. Where was Emperor's Palm again? Anybody remember? I don't remember. I wish I could click on this. Yes, I don't remember at all. I'll find it and I'll be back. Lord Captain, your presence is required by members of your retinue. The Vox Master's voice sounds tense, somewhat even frightened, and I believe that they will not accept a refusal. Uh-oh. Something happened. What's going on, friends? Lord Captain? Cassius raises her chin. Her posture and gaze are reserved and dignified as the nobility, becoming of nobility, and her trembling voice betrays her emotional state. The decks of this void ship abound with swirls of dirty colors. Some of your crew are spreading ludicrous gossip about you allegedly collecting people's hearts like victory trophies, and that your collection boasts more than one exhibit. Please dispel my doubts, or do our feelings for each other count for nothing? Hear, Shireen, even the deftest rider can't charge ahead on two mounts at the same time. Even the most passionate woman won't tolerate rivals forever. What is the point of choosing? Can we all come to an agreement so everyone's satisfaction? Your proposal is outrageous. If your intentions to insult me, Lord Captain, you've nearly succeeded. As far as I'm concerned, there's no reason for me to kick up a fuss about it, but who would agree to share the rogue trader with so lover as dazzling as I? Silence falls in the room. Oh no, I have to pick. Cassia, my lady, the only future I see is myself as one for which I'm with you. An enchanting smile blossoms on Cassia's face, and it is a future that you and I will treasure together for as long as the stars allow us to. Smiling without anonymity, Jay says with a genuine warmth, your heart sees clearly where its delight lies. All I can do is be glad for you and praise the exalted one. I can't break Cassia's heart. The poor girl, I can't break her heart. I'd feel so bad. I feel terrible. Now, let me continue exploring and I'll bring you guys back when we're done. Lord Captain, reporting shortly before our departure from Footfall, a group of messengers in luxurious garbs delivered a strongbox and several chests bearing the insignia of House Orcelio to the ship. I suppose the use of gold-clad servants instead of servitors was an extravagant attempt by the navigators to draw the attention of the rogue trade. Considering the incident in the capital world, the enforcer officers checked the Navis Novelite gifts thrice. I'm pleased to report that none of them have threatened your Lady Cassia's with the crew's well-being. Having said that, a closer examination of the strongbox with the tech adepts revealed a data slate with a vid message addressed personally to you alongside of encrypted data. We dare not touch them without your instructions. What vid message shown? As you command, Lord Captain. Vigdis issues several orders on the vid screen of your personal cogitator springs to life. The machine's innards rumbling unhappily. Rogue trader. A familiar, piercing voice comes from the cogitator's block system, and you see a bloated face with sagging skin and a gaping hole where the nose should be. We, Great Regent Aranto Orcelio, send greetings and hope this message finds you in good health. Horace Orcelio will soon hold a grand council within the Palace of the Atlas, the holy relic that connects all navigators of our house. This meeting will take place not in the physical world, but in the world of thoughts and dreams and visions. It is the only way to avoid bloodshed and decide the fate of the sacred child at last. Thanks to the Atlas, we feel that the soul of the child is full of dismay, and yet the rogue trader's words bear a lot of weight with the child, so he may soothe its anxiety and lead the child down the right path, the path of accepting its duty before the house and ascending to the Novator's throne. I hope you consider my offer, Gregor von Valancius, for it is in your power to not only strengthen the bond between our dynasties, but multiply your riches at the same time. The gifts accompanying this message are but an insignificant part of the Great Regent's gratitude. May the God Emperor protect us all. The vid screen shuts down, and the Vox Master breaks the silence. I am told the message has been relayed to your cogitator, Lord Captain. I hope the data did not get corrupted during playback or delivery. Decode the encryption hidden in the data slit. Yes, Lord Captain. Vigdis falls silent of the Vox transmitter and fills with scratching of cognitive quill and rustling of papers. A messenger servo skull has been sent to the Omniscience servants compartments. Once the data has been decrypted, I'll notify you immediately. This will be all for now. God Emperor protects, Lord Captain. Thank you. Alright, bring you guys back when we're doing something. Lord Captain, urgent report from the House of Omniosci. They managed to locate a second message in the House Orcelia's data slate, hidden in the shadow of the first one. As soon as it happened, the machine spirit rebelled and started devouring the decrypted data. The acolytes of the cult Mechanicus are performing the rites to appease it and slow down the process of annihilation. What should we do? Display the message on screen right now. The column beads echoes with the furious clicking of Vigdis's augmented fingers. A few moments later, the vid screen of your cogitator shows the recording through a wall of static. Rogue trader, you hardly know me, but I am well informed of your deeds. A well-built young man adjusts his silk headband embellished with the symbol of the Navis Novelite. My name is irrelevant, for as long as the cursed child continues to live and breathe, no one in House Orcelio is safe. I know that what Master Felic and Lady Alina Hateria had to do in Yerk 5 and in your palace, and I understand your anger. House Orcelio deeply apologizes for these incidents. The navigator tiredly closes his eyes. I presume you already know that House Orcelio will be holding a grand council in the depths of that accursed Atlas very soon. We cannot ignore the call, for we are bound to it against our will. I am also aware that you enjoy a great influence over the cursed child. Convince her to reject the Atlas, break the centuries-old shackles binding our house, crush Tisiphone's tyranny under her foot, or simply kill her. I do not care. I'm not going to lie. We are unlikely to become good friends, but House Orcelio values true allies like no other. The true House Orcelio, that is, not these lunatic zealots of the Regent. To assure you that my offer is not in vain, I will first extend my hand in a gesture of goodwill, a gratuitous gift to the Von Valancius dynasty. You will find it among the stars of Metianus, an emerald clutched in the storm's embrace. Head left, right, and twice forward. Left, right, 2 forward. Then, dang, the vid recording cut short and you hear the Voxmaster's voice in the comm beat. I'm very sorry, Lord Captain. The servants of the Omnisci could no longer restrain the machine spirit's hunger. I hope you're able to see the vid message through to the end. Not completely. Bring you guys back when something new happens. I've been called into something else. Also, I looked around and I did not see where that message wanted me to go. So yeah, if anybody knows about that, definitely let me know in the comments, because I have absolutely no idea. Gregor, how wonderful it is that I've found you here. Uncontrollable anxiety washes over your body, causing you to lose your breath. Cassia notices this, closes her eyes, and you're released from the grip of emotions that are not your own. Please forgive me. My powers are sometimes too insistent, even their attempts to break free from my control. You have made great strides in learning how to keep them at bay. I commend your perseverance. I came to deliver good tidings. I've spoke with the house's navigators through the Atlas. Of late, I can feel with increasing clarity how our connection is growing stronger. Despite the descent in its mists, House Celia has been able to keep a precarious equilibrium, thanks in part to your unexpected arrival on Uric 5 and the resolution of the conflict on the Koronus Reception. Not our Orcelios concur with your decisions, but none can deny the impact that you have, and no one else have had on the house's present state of affairs. Cassia nods gratefully, lowering her gaze and clasps her hand together. There is more I wish to tell you. It is about the visions that I have came to experience at the increasing rate during warp jumps. The same visions come to me again and again and again. It is as if I'm going mad, for you see, these visions are about me, the Atlas, and Tisiphone Orcelio, the house's previous novator. I've seen Tisiphone's experiments, the ones that involved the navigators from the Sathala branch, which she rumored to have destroyed for disobedience. But the visions told me altogether a different story, one where the Sathalas helped Tisiphone create the Atlas, and they vanished immediately after the experience were done with. Perhaps I can... No, I know I can find a way to the palace of the Atlas if I recreate Tisiphone's journey from my visions. A real palace, not the psychophysical illusion to which Orcelio navigators can reach out. I always had a feeling that it truly exists in our world. Now, however, I know with absolute certainty. What makes you so sure that you'll be able to find a way to this physical manifestation of the Atlas? I saw Tisiphone experience an epiphany in a dream, just like my visions came to me on our travels through the warp. She beheld a planet hidden behind roiling warp storms. This world promised her great power, so Tisiphone gathered the Sithalas, her most devout followers, to go on a suicidal journey through the Tempest. I know not the details of what happened on that planet, but it was there that the Sithalas sacrificed themselves for an experiment of some kind, and it was there that House Orcelio obtained its Starway Atlas. For the first time ever, I have an opportunity to find answers to the questions my mentor so deftly avoided. Why did Tisiphone choose me? What is the Atlas? Is it true that House Orcelio's past is drenched in blood? Please, Gregor, do not snap this tautly drawn string of destiny, my destiny. Journey with me to Tisiphone's wake to the distant stars. I shall help you, Lady Cassia. Cassia breathes a sigh of relief, but the look in her ruby eyes quickly darkens again. The house is still watching me, both the renegades and the loyalists. I doubt that any of them will agree even to a brief armistice for the sake of learning the truth about the Atlas's origins. And I do not wish to see House Orcelio lose even one more life to another fratricidal skirmish. No, I should go after the answers about our past on my own. If we show the house your strength and undauntable spirit, invite the renegades to be the first to touch the secrets of the Atlas they loathe so much. You're asking me to cast my lot with the renegades and murderers. Cassia frowns, and you can feel unease as if it were your own. Only 3 in 10 suicidal expeditions meet with success, and only if the followers have undying loyalty to the leadership. Of those divided crew, however, none survive. Trust me, I shall stay by your side and let no harm come to you. If I were to turn to my enemies into allies, it would help House Orcelio heal its wounds. Some of them, at least. Cassia tirelessly rubs her breastplate where it conceals the Atlas. Let it be as you say, rogue traitor. I will pass the invitation onto the renegades' leaders, but even in the head of the rebellion agrees to this, they will never join the expedition in person. After the events on Dargonus, all of House Orcelio trembles before you, and I doubt the traitors are eager to take unnecessary risks. And now permit me to take my leave. I must start preparing for the journey. From what I've been able to glean, we must first travel to the ruby-wide eyes widen in astonishment. The Orcelio prophecy system. That. Could it be that the historical records are lying and that Kaelin Orcelio is not whom the star system is named after? Either way, that was one system from which Tisiphone embarked on her journey, and we are going to follow in her long-forgotten footsteps. Sounds like a plan, Cassia. Be right back when we have something new. I would say this qualifies as something new. It's a dangerous warp jump, but it is what it is. Entry A201 4866, 10 chronometers since the incident. Witness Hedea on, you claim that you left the Sanctum Navis on the Lady Navigator's orders. Affirmative. This unit acted in accordance with maintenance protocol. Step 1. Since the sacred mechanisms for the duration of 15 chronometer turn. Step 2. Enforcer, you failed to inform the bridge about the imminent jump. I want to know why. Data unavailable. The Lady Navigator ordered that she be connected to the voidship, but she did not order the preparation of the machine spirits for warp translation. Cause, a ritual that cannot be identified by this unit's capabilities. This unit received the command to interrupt protocol and exit the Sanctum Navis. Servant, please, no, not the fingers. Enforcer, I'm going to break every one of them for every word of a lie I hear coming from your mouth. Now talk. Please, you have to believe me. All we did was prepare the canvas and mix the Lady Navigator's blood into the paint. So then we were told to lock open the shutters so that the Lord Captain could see everything that was going on inside the Sanctum Navis from the observation chambers. And crock shit, armor glass can't shield you from warp horrors. I swear it on my soul in the Golden Throne, Master Enforcer, the Lady Navigator only wanted to paint a picture for the ritual or some such. That's all I know. She wasn't going to use the power in her eye, but I still got as far away from there as I could. That's all I'm telling you. We performed an emergency warp jump, barely activated the Geller field in time, and we are now being dragged to throne knows where by the unknown force. The Lady Navigator and the Lord Captain are still unaccounted for. Now tell me one more time, what transpired in the Sanctum Navis? I escorted the Lord Captain to the observation chambers and yelled at the servants for leaving the shutters open, but when I was told it was on the rogue trader's orders. We could see the Lady Navigator clearly through the armor glass. She was lost in thought, staring at a canvas in front of her. She looked like she'd been completely unaware of the world around her. Soon the servants were ordered to leave the Sanctum Navis, and the Lady Navigator picked up her brush. Entranced, she started dragging it across the canvas, painting one image over another and one over the last and another, and then the Lord Captain noticed it. There was a thing on the other side. The picture covered in a layer of fresh blood was coming. He dashed to the control panel. I didn't dare to stop him, I just watched, bolters at the ready. The machine spirits went mad, and the doors and the shutters started opening and closing at random. The rogue trader managed to dart inside. Guarded by all the noise, the Lady Navigator turned around, and then these horrors in her paintings, they broke free. And what happened next? I barely remember a thing. There was a bright flash, a purple blur. I remember feeling so scared that my knees were shaking. I remember my legs carrying me away like they had a mind of their own. As I ran, I heard screams behind me. The Lord Captain and Lady Cassia, oh God, Emperor, the creatures, they pulled them both inside the painting. Sir, Mistress Foxmaster, I have a report that needs to be delivered to the senior officers. The Lord Captain and Lady Navigator were lost during the emergency warp jump. Their whereabouts are still unknown. I'm sending you to the interrogation reports. End of recording. No data, no data, no data. Material relation of the Lord Captain's personal account recorded by no data. Strictly classified. Access protocol holder Gregor von Valancius. Tisiphone Orsilio's ritual did not go as planned. The warp disturbance triggered by the Lady Navigator's trance washed over the Sanctum Navis. The voidship's machine spirits reacted to the surge of the Imperium and intercepted it as a call to action. Thus did the emergency jump and the unknown begin. Amid the shrieks of sirens, the clanging of shutters, and the distant hum of the warp engine, some unknown will pulled the Lord Captain into the Sanctum Navis, toward the creatures from the living canvas that had gripped the Lady Navigator's throat. Horrified, almost out of breath, the struggling to scream, Cassia reached out her hand and began slowly slicking her own painting. The Lord Captain snatched a dagger from the floor and started hacking at the hands reaching from inside the painting. The ritual dagger of the House Orsilio cleaved the billowing shadows, and yet the painted hand reformed itself the moment after the blade passed through it. Cassie wouldn't live in the clutches of her horrific creation and was immediately pulled to the other side of the painting. A moment later, Gregor, still clutching the dagger, was likewise plunged into the depths of the world the Lady Navigator had created. Gregor awoke, finding himself in the middle of a gigantic, boundless, billowing nothingness. His body felt weightless, floating in a void strewn of hundreds of Lady Navigator's colors, some of them bright and warm and alluring, others morose, cold, and heavy. Reach for the bright colors. Gregor plunged into a river of bright hues. The flashes of rosy sunset and lilac carried him down the dazzling stream. Before long, the Lord Captain was standing in an idyllic garden, permeated with the fragrance of flowers and the singing of birds. Servants in purple livery darted back and forth, attending to the withered old woman in a navigator's mask. Sitting on her lap and smiling coyly to everyone was a little girl with ruby eyes and white hair. Be a good little girl, my child, until the day we meet again. With trembling hands, the woman handed the girl to the navigator in the laboratory attire. I am out of time. Prepare the child for the Atlas transfer and destroy all records and mentions of the world to V. No one must learn of what took place here, and remember, her body must grow strong for it to accept my power, and once I've returned, loyalty will be rewarded. The memory dissipated with a gust of silvery wind hurled the Lord Captain back into the ocean of nothingness. But this time, the nothingness felt dismal. Instead of bright hues, all contained was shadows of invisible monsters swimming by, shrouded by the nebulous veil of unfathomableness, swam toward the dark colors. Grayish blue waves swallowed the Lord Captain, and the feeling of lightness disappeared as his limbs grew heavy again. Gregor fell on the hard floor of the laboratory, cluttered with vats as tall as humans. Inside of them were dozens, hundreds, even of repulsive mutants. Some had no arms or no legs or two heads or no face, or their innards turned inside out, but each one had white skin, white hair, long clawed limbs, and ruby eyes. My the child is born. The tall woman slowly approached one of the vats. Readings, stable. Mutations, none were detected at any of the stages. Genes, identical, my lady. Chances of survival, 100 times higher than any previous experiments. How long will it take to grow this child? I feel accelerating the process might cause the body to fail, the only one after years of silence. I understand the situation. Natural growth. I do not have that much time. We will have to go with the backup plan. Yes, Novator, it will be done. The memory dissipated again. Closed his eyes and remained adrift in the weight of weightlessness. Gregor stayed in the ocean of nothingness, devoid of any sensation or emotion, until a slight smile upon someone's lips surfaced in his mind. The warmth of her skin, the silk of her snow-white hair, Cassia. She was there, somewhere amid that seething nothingness, all alone. Someone's scream broke the delicate equilibrium of the Lord Captain's motionless body, and the weightlessness released him. He plummeted into the maroon abyss of roiling illusions, but was now in full control of his body again. Then Gregor descended into the abyss toward the screams. The Lord Captain crashed from the immeasurable height to the bottom of the roiling abyss. In the next moment, Gregor saw two figures amid the billowing maroon mist. One of the figures, unnaturally gaunt and tall, was clutching the other, smaller one, its claws, screaming furiously. It's peered into the strange mist. Yes, we got 35% chance. That's amazing. In the swirling mist all around him, Gregor could make out human faces stricken with torment, and not just human faces. They were Xenos, Aldari. Their features fused together with those of humans, which made the crimson specters look all the more abominable. Their gazes in rage were directed at the two unmoving figures facing each other. Drew closer to look at the figures. One step was all it took for some unknown force to notice the Lord Captain, seize him, and drag him through the paintings twisted space. Now the Lord Captain could clearly see the dark shade of the long-dead navigator leaning over Cassia. Clutching her neck by its clawed fingers, the shade screamed, "You were given life because of me, you survived because of me, and here you are now because I have willed it so. Bow before me, tell me what I wish to hear, and your suffering will end. Go on, child, I've waited for so long, submit to me." Cassia looked exhausted, her body covered in hundreds of thin cuts, her lips lacerated, claw marks on her cheeks. Yet there was some steadfast resolve in her eyes. "I know who you are, Tisiphone Arcelio. I know what you crave. I saw it in the visions that you sent me again and again. I won't allow you. I will never allow you to become me." Cassia's fatigued voice quivered, but she was not about to yield into this battle. Urge the Lady Navigator to fight the monster until the end. The Lord Captain's words attracted not just Lady Cassia's attention. Tisiphone Arcelio, finally noticing the presence of a living creature in that bizarre world, turned to face the interloper and lunged forward, seething with rage. When the entity's claws were millimeters from the rogue trader's throat, Cassia opened her navigator's eye, and a wave of unbridled warp energy obliterated Tisiphone's specter before she realized what was happening. The Lady Navigator graced the Lord Captain with a tired smile. The abortive ritual had turned out to be a trap set for Lady Cassia by the previous novator of her house, but the rogue trader had ensured that her plan fell to ruin, and now it was time to desert that accursed place. Cassia took the rogue trader's hand and guided him through the maroon mist and out of the painting. Their unconscious bodies were discovered in the Sanctum Navis, 20 Terran days after their disappearance, as soon as the rogue trader's voidship had emerged from the warp in an unknown system. Wild. I gotta check out the system though, right? Like, I gotta look at it. Gotta at least give it a look-see. Oh, this place looks cool. Let's save. Oh wait, there's Margus Mundus. I think this is the place we were looking for. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know what's going on, actually. I know nothing. Well, that's definitely where we're going next time. But that's gonna do it for this episode, guys. I will see you all in the next one. Peace.